Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There once was a man named Mel, and when he'd step to this microphone, he would give a Mel. I rise today to recognize a former member of this body and a friend and mentor, Congressman Mel Hancock. He would sign all of his letters or emails, whatever he'd sign, with the same thing: yours for better but less government. That's what Mel believed. When Senator Jim Talent first came to this body, he asked Mel to help him vote. He said, "Mel, can you show me how to use the voting machine here?" He said, "Sure, Jim, come over here." He said, "You see, if you want to vote no, you push the red button. And if you have a conflict, you can't vote on an issue, you push the yellow button for P, for present." And he turned and walked off. Senator Talent said, "Hey, Mel, what's the green button for?" Mel turned around and said, "I don't know, I've never used it." Mel died peacefully in his home, in his sleep, on November the 6th in Springfield, Missouri. Mel was a champion of limited government. Mel knew that our founding fathers understood the corrupting influence of power on the human character, which is why they championed personal freedom. The idea that a government by the people and for the people should preserve liberty for future generations. Like our founders, Mel was a wise man, a good man, who worked tirelessly to defend people's liberty. Mel was a true Ozarkian. He was born in Cape Fear, Missouri in 1936. He graduated from college and enlisted in the Air Force in 1951, where he would serve in active duty till 1953. Following active duty, Mel stayed in the Air Force Reserves until 1965, where he attained the rank of first lieutenant. After military service, Mel went into business, co-founding a security system equipment leasing company. However, Mel's dedication to his country did not end with his military service. As a businessman and a voter, Mel was upset with the way things were being done in the state of Missouri and Washington, D.C. In 1977, Mel founded the Taxpayer Survival Association. I can still see the bumper sticker today with a lifesaver on it, like you'd throw off of a boat or a ship. A not-for-profit organization dedicated to advancing a constitutional amendment to limit taxes. He was a one-man show. He'd go around Missouri getting signatures. You might see him up in Kansas City standing in the parking lot in front of a mall in a rainstorm, getting people to sign his tax and spending amendment petition to put on the ballot. Through his hard work with the Hancock Amendment, it was added to the Missouri Constitution in 1980. Mel used its passage to continue his advocacy for responsible government and for the rights of individuals to be free from an overburdensome government. Mel's convictions took him to Congress in 1988, where he represented southwest Missouri for 8 years. I always called Mel the reluctant congressman. He didn't want to be a congressman. He didn't want to come to Washington, D.C., but he was just pulled in that direction by people. They said, "Mel, you've got to go. You've got to do it." And I am honored to now occupy that same congressional seat, Missouri 7. During his time in Congress from 1988 to 1996, he worked in the House Ways and Means Committee to advance the cause of liberty. He also championed a balanced budget amendment, his signature issue, which I'm proud to say we're going to vote on a balanced budget amendment this week. Mel retired from Congress in 1996. He didn't retire because he couldn't win another election, but because he had promised the people of southwest Missouri that he would not serve more than 4 terms in office. With Mel, a promise made was a promise kept, something that Washington would do well to remember these days. Now, over 30 years since the passage of the Hancock Amendment, with our current budget problems, it reveals just how right Mel was. We would not have a $15 trillion, that's right, we went over $15 trillion yesterday. We would not have a $15 trillion debt or massive runaway government spending if we had a Hancock Amendment on the national level. Mel was much beloved by his neighbors, friends, and family in the Missouri 7th District and was one of my mentors. Our thoughts and prayers are with his wife, Shug, who Mel always referred to as the boss, his sons Lee, Kim, and his daughter Lou Ann, and their families. Mel will be missed, but his legacy, the legacy that he created and the ideas that he championed will continue. His legacy will forever be a part of Missouri through the Hancock Amendment and his service to his constituents. Mel meant the world to me, and I will continue to champion the ideas that he dedicated his life fighting for. Mr. Speaker, I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. The chair.